Check, check. Hey everyone, this is PrinceBrightstar, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. So, let's go ahead and log back in, and let's see if we can make our way over back to where we have to go for our main scenario quest. Hey there, it looks like we got somebody almost immediately here tonight. Alright, so looks like we are going to go speak with the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. And let's see here. So let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and teleport over to Horizon. And as you may recall from last time, we got the ability to ride a mount. So we're gonna go ahead and just ride the Aryamon all the way down to the Waking Sands. In the meantime, once again, we also need to get all the seals that we can. So I'm gonna go ahead and queue us in for a roulette here. Let's see if it pops immediately. Doesn't seem to be happening here. I'll just go ahead and throw that on the screen. Looks like there shouldn't be too much of a wait here. Thank you very much. It seemed almost as if I wasn't going to be able to do this tonight because people were still kind of firing off rockets for the new year, but it seems to have calmed down, so I'm glad I'm able to get this going tonight. Alright, we have arrived at the Waking Sands. Okay, and since we have arrived and it hasn't popped yet, I'll go ahead and withdraw us and we'll try that again later. Welcome back, Prince. Lady Minfilia awaits you within. Welcome back. It seems you wasted no time putting your skills to work. How do I know? Why, the recruitment officer called to regale me with the tale of your heroics. The pride in his voice was palpable. We Scions are truly fortunate to have you with us, Prince. Now, when last we spoke, I said I wanted you to meet some friends, did I not? Well, I neglected to mention that you have already met. Tataru, please show them in. This way, sirs. It's a good game. As I've mentioned in the past, it's my main character is at the end of the game in end game content with the Alexander raid, so it's really good. The fact that it's kept me engaged for that many hours to kind of get through the entire thing. All right, Biggs. Thanks again for getting us out of that mess. We owe you our lives. but I don't think we properly introduced ourselves. I'm Biggs. And I'm... Gods, man, spill it out, will you? Wedge. Antilles, at your service. Anybody that's familiar with the Final Fantasy series knows that Biggs and Wedge are a reference to Star Wars. I am pleased to say that Biggs and Wedge will be staying with us for a while. Magitech-driven contraptions such as airships grow ever more vital to the city-states of Eorzea. As a neutral party, it was judged that we Scions should serve as the keepers of this technology. Of course, for this, we needed the knowledge of experts, and so we requested the assistance of Garland Ironworks, who very kindly sent us 2 of their finest engineers. Our happy family continues to grow. On behalf of the Scions, I bid you welcome to the Waking Sands. Like every soul here, I love Eorzea. And I count myself blessed to have been given this chance to stand with you at all and fight for the future of the realm. Never have I known such fulfillment, such happiness. Okay, so looks like she's got the next quest here.
Now, having set aside the formalities, we have a favor to ask of you. Urianger, have the documents arrived from the students of Baldesion?
Aye, my lady. They arrived but recently.
We have conducted a study at the behest of the Order of the Twin Adder. Papalimo, UL'DAH, a synopsis if you would.
Our task was to survey the behavior of the Sylphs, a beast tribe indigenous to the Twelveswood.
Oh, how to describe them. They look like Gisselcreens, floating ones, that worship the primal Ramu.
Ahem. Though technically a beast tribe, Sylphs are blessed with a comparatively personable demeanor, conducive to peaceful communication.
Offering us an invaluable opportunity to learn what the beast tribes know of the primals.
While Ramu's existence is well documented, the Sylphs do not, or perhaps cannot, summon the primal any longer, insofar as can be ascertained. Until such time as we know, it would be unwise to assume that the threat posed by the primal has passed.
Which leaves GRIDANIA with the added worry of not knowing what they should be worrying about.
In that regard, they are hardly alone. What we can say with absolute certainty is that GRIDANIA has its hands full fending off Garuda, who, I need hardly remind you, is among the most savage and terrible of all known primals.
In short, it is essential that we approach the Sylphs in as diplomatic a manner as possible. Words and actions can be misconstrued. The only sure way to communicate our intentions is the echo. Winning the Sylphs' favor may well bring us a step closer to mitigating the threat of the primals. Will you help us?
Have I refused you yet?
I am grateful.
Lovely. Well, as much as I'd like to help, I'm afraid I would be of little use to anyone in GRIDANIA. A veritable babe in the woods. UL'DAH and Papalimo, however, should be able to see the forest for the trees. Is that not so, Minfilia?
Indeed. You are willing?
Leave it to me.
Us, UL'DAH, us!
Alright. So we are headed back to the Adder's Nest. so from here we'll go ahead and teleport over to there. Well, if you've, just a quick note here, if you've played Final Fantasy Tactics, you would actually want to be pretty excited about what's about to happen. As part of Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood, they are going to be releasing raid content centered around what is quoted as a return to Ivalice. So, I'm not certain which Ivalice they're actually talking about, if they're talking about the Final Fantasy Tactics, if they're talking about the Final Fantasy Tactics Advance slash Final Fantasy XII Ivalice, so we'll see on that one, but that might be something to get you excited. Here's the person we need to talk to. We know far too little of the Sylphs to lay any worthwhile plans. We must call upon the Scions once more if we are to... beg pardons, 'tis a terrible habit of mine to think aloud. But tell me, what brings you to the Adder's Nest? And with that, we just leveled up. Well, if it isn't Private Brightstar, reporting for duty. That's the zeal I like to see from an enterprising young serpent. Good day, Commander. Sorry to disappoint you, but other business brings us here today. UL'DAH and Papalymo, always a pleasure to see the two of you. My men tell me you quest in the name of the Scions of late. Quite so, Commander. A little bird told us that the Twin Adder was in need of our adventuring prowess. Aye, your little bird sings true. No doubt you've heard that we're investigating the Sylphs, that curious beast tribe that calls the depths of the Twelveswood home. The Sylphs are, for the most part, a peaceable bunch, much to the delight of the elder Seedseer, who has no desire to see her people embroiled in yet another fruitless war. The Twin Adder is of the same mind, and 'tis precisely for this reason that the Sylph's relation to the primal Ramuh has raised a flag of warning amongst our ranks. Friendly as they may appear, beastmen will be beastmen. Should there be even a sliver of a chance that the summoning of the primal might disturb the balance between Gridania and the Sylphic tribes, it is a possibility we cannot ignore. Better to be safe than sorry indeed. Do we strike at Ramuh, or leave the Sylphs to their own ways? That is the question, yet I find myself lacking ample knowledge to arrive at an answer. Opinions abound within Gridania, but to listen only to one's own is among the greatest mistakes a commander can make. I would hear from the other side, the Sylphs themselves, and seek an impartial party to serve as my liaison. That is where you Scions come in. The Sylphs of Little Solace remain untempered, and have held many a productive dialogue with our people. I would hear their candid thoughts on their tempered brethren. That said, I urge you to exercise due caution. Sylphic tradition and etiquette bear little resemblance to our own. It would not do to have any cross-cultural faux pas get in the way of a productive parley. En route to Little Solace, you will come upon the Hawthorne Hut. Our officer stationed there can enlighten you as to how to win the Sylph's favor. May your expedition be a worthwhile one. A friendly palaver with the Sylphs? This should be a pleasant enough diversion. The Hawthorne Hut, was it? Why, I believe the ferry departing from West Shore Pier should take us straight there. A friendly palaver, indeed. I hope this will be as straightforward as you say, Papalymo. Yeah, one of the stranger things is they do kind of use some of the older English dialect in this game. So sometimes I am stumbling over my own words here, just because I'm not too familiar with the dialect. Anyway, let's go ahead and try requeuing for the guild test. Okay, great. That popped up immediately. Actually, later on, there are going to be some points where we can actually say certain things. But the majority of things is still like that. Alright, so for this one, we want to take out all the ads first before we go after the main target. Once again, always try to get out of those telegraph lines. Alright, so far so good. We've probably got another 4 or 5 groups to go here. Alright, we're gonna have to actually move up to catch this guy, and so we're gonna pull in another group. If at all possible, always try to go for casters first, since they can do the most damage in most cases. Or they can also heal themselves as well. Okay, that's that group. Let's keep going. Couple of seconds, we're going to pick up this group here. Here we go. Always remember to do your combo for enmity, so that way you're the one taking the damage. That's your role as a tank. Okay, as we start to finish this group off, I'm going to start to use my Riot Blade just to get some magic points back. Okay, it looks like that's all the groups, so let's go ahead and move on to the final target. Alright, once again, take down the magic users, or in this case, the chanters first. Okay, I've been tripped. When you get tripped or stunned, you basically can't do anything until it either wears off or the status is cured. Alright, this guy's got some reinforcements coming in. Let's go ahead and grab them. That one was outside my range. And he's got more coming in. And another group. wish the trees weren't so full around here. They keep blocking the view. Alright, we should be finishing off the group pretty soon here. Alright, that just leaves the swarm point. I don't think he has any other additional friends to bring in. Nope, actually he does. Let's grab this guy. And we got this sharpshooter over here as well. Okay, in that particular case, we could just focus him down, and that would have ended it all. Okay, let's give accommodation to the healer. Okay, it looks like this is the first time we're actually completing this one here as well. So that's a nice little bonus. Okay. So, let's head over to the Hawthorne Hut. As you might remember, last time we picked up that teleport point. Oh! Okay, I messed that up. Actually, we need to go back to New Gridania. This is something that can trip you up every now and then. The fact that sometimes you need to keep an eye on actually where your next destination is. Otherwise, you're gonna head to where you think your destination is, but you actually need to speak to somebody else first. Let's see, to the Lancers Guild. Aye, the ferry docked at the base of this hill will carry you across the lake to the East Shroud. Once you're ashore, head due east and you should find the Hawthorne Hut without much trouble. The Hawthorns are most welcoming folk who have shown us no small measure of goodwill. Still, a bit of courtesy goes a long way. I would encourage you to stop by Full Flower Combe and introduce yourself to Rosa before you travel on. Okay, so we have a bit of a trek to make here then, since we're going to have to go ahead and make our way to there first. So, let's see, Sweet Bloom Pier. I happen to be heading across the lake to Sweet Bloom Pier in the East Shroud. Okay, let's refresh the map, and there is our destination. Let's go ahead and mount up. And let's also queue in for the leveling roulette, just so we can go ahead and grab these seals as well. Oh, and that popped up instantly. Okay. Once again, the reason I'm doing all the dungeons early on is so that we can kind of get the experience that we're going to need, so that I'm not having to just do a grind fest at the end of the trek in Heaven's Ward. It looks like we've got Ifrit here, so this will be pretty quick, actually. The only thing is, when we get a boss like this, we don't get as much experience. Just simply from the fact that we're not killing a bunch of monsters on our way to the bosses. That Lancer is staying pretty close on enmity there, so I'm going to keep using my combo for a while before I start using a Fracture. Actually, it looks like both the Archer and the Lancer are keeping up. Once again, when it comes to Ifrit, it's pretty easy to get past him. It's basically just a tank and spank boss. The only thing that you really need to watch out for are those eruptions on the ground that pop up every now and then, as well as the nail which just popped up. So I'm going to toss a couple of shield lobs into that. And now let me continue to build my enmity on Ifrit. Not too much, though. That should be good. Yeah, and you can't hit him while he's doing that move there. Alright, let's go for a Fracture. Just to get him down a little bit quicker. I'll also go ahead and pop Fight or Flight. And one of my defensive cooldowns. Yeah, that's one thing that you can do with Ifrit. If you happen to bash him with your shield and just stun him, you can basically prevent his Radiant Bloom from going off. Okay, so we got the seal, so that was pretty quick. Let's give the healer a commendation. And let's get out of here. Alright, so we blew through through getting the seals pretty quickly today. The only other thing that we would want to do is just make sure we take care of any fates that we come across, and we'll take care of... let's see, that one's actually pretty low level. If we see one down in this neck of the woods, we'll take it on. An adventurer! Thank the 12. You couldn't have come at a more opportune time. Please, you must help us. Why? It's our bees. The poor little dears are under attack by a murderous swarm of hornets. These beehives are our livelihood. You must save them. Alright, here's the first hornet. Let's go ahead and Fracture. And I don't think we've seen this yet. I don't think I've performed my the third part of my combo before, Rage of Halonen. This is what it looks like. And one of the nice things about that is, as part of what it does in terms of giving you extra enmity, it also reduces the enemy's strength by 5%, so that's going to also reduce the incoming damage on you. Once again, though, you need to be in an appropriate level, and that's why I couldn't use it before, due to the level sync with the Ifrit. I personally have not tried Dragon Age. I've got a copy of one of them, I just never had the time to really sit down and try it out, so... maybe I will one day. Okay, that clears up that objective. Thank you, friend. Finally, our bees can make their honey in peace. I knew you were 12 cent the moment I laid eyes upon you. You traveled to our hut, you say? And would speak with the serpent officer there? There is one who goes by Amelain. He is a sentry at Jocelyn's Spire, but makes regular excursions to our hut. He's quite enamored of our honey and the tales of my husband, Rolf, though I've found him to be tight-lipped around those he's unfamiliar with. Ooh, I know what we might try. Why don't you take a jar of fresh honey to him? I reckon you'll find him more than talkative then. Alright, let's go ahead and mount up. Actually, it looks like somebody is trying to take these guys on. So you know what? Let's go ahead and help them out. And we even joined it early enough that we still will get some serpent seals out of it. Few more vultures to go. Last one. And there we go. We got a little experience out of that, and 63 seals. Alright, let's make our way over to the Hawthorne Hut. Alright, we've got this one up, although it looks like that's going to be finished before we get over there. That's fine. I think they're inside here. Yeah, here they are. Indeed, I am Amelain of the Twin Adder. Your face is unfamiliar too. You have a present for me, you say? Alright, let's hand over the honey. A jar of Rosa's honey, and freshly harvested to boot. You certainly know how to make a first impression, friend. Ah, so you are the adventurer of whom the commander spoke. Do forgive me for being curt. My stomach was rumbling something fierce. My word, this honey, like liquid gold. You sure your name isn't Winnie the Pooh? Forgive me. You have come to discuss not honey, but sylphs. For all their whimsy, they are a wary lot. Particularly since the Empire has come to the Shroud. Earn their trust, however, and they're as friendly folk as any. They're as friendly as any folk. They have their quirks, but so do we all. No? Would you know more? You do well to speak to Rosa's husband here, Rolf. He's forgotten more about the sylphs than I'll ever know. Come to learn a thing or two about the sylphs, have you? I'll tell you one thing, they're a peculiar folk. How peculiar, you ask? Well, just let me tell you. Beg pardon, friend, my memory's just not what it used to be. I've seen much and more in my adventuring days, and it's all a clutter in my noggin now. Though I've shared my stories with those around the hut before. You might have more luck with them. Well, that's a shame. We gotta go and speak to everybody else then. The sylphs? Yes, Father told me his stories plenty of times. What I've always found most captivating is how their concept of etiquette is almost completely alien to our own. You do best not to underestimate them on account of their childlike looks, lest your face end up a mess of glyphs, squiggles, and chocobo scratches. Tee-hee! The sylphs? Inveterate tricksters and troublemakers. That's what they are. One day they're drawing more bull faces on our masts. The next, they're sending our young sentries falling to the bottom of a ravine. Tell them to stop and they just laugh at you. Rolf claims they harbor no ill will, but I dare say such pranks are no laughing matter. The quickest way to a quiver woman's heart might be through her stomach, but I don't even think of trying to foist your foodstuffs on a sylph. They sustain themselves simply by bathing in the sun, or so Rolf once told me. Oh, of course. Hearing your stories, well, my stories, has brought the memories flooding back to me. I feel like dancing. Yes. I forgot this guy does actually start dancing there. Yes, nothing brings people together quite like a little toe tapping. A sylph told me long ago that dancing is a time-honored greeting amongst their kind. You do well to remember this. It just may help win the favor of our forest friends. Oh, still here, eh? Great. There's one more thing you should know about the sylphs. They don't take kindly to guests who show up empty-handed. To earn their trust, you do well to bring along, Drat, what was it again? And Rosa and I were just speaking of the matter not days ago. Forgive me, friend. Speak to Rosa at the comb. Her memory should prove more reliable than my own. Alright, back to Rosa we go. Okay, a peace offering for the sylphs? I'd give you another jar of my honey, but I fear that wouldn't get you past their front doorstep, dear. No, their tastes run more to the unusual. Are you perchance familiar with milkroot? That's what we call the root of that most fiendish seedskin, the ochu. When chewed, it exudes a cloudy liquid that's said to induce curious visions in the imbiber. You'd not catch me dead trying this stuff. but the sylphs seem to enjoy it to no end. I've not seen an Ochu around the comb in quite some time, but I did encounter a suspicious clump of grass the other day. Were you to stimulate it somehow, with some of this amber syrup, for example, you might be surprised at what comes out. Good luck. Okay, so looks like our destination is right over here. Here it is. And we've got an Ochu here. To answer your question, a Moogle, the way that it's that the name comes about is it's a combination of the words mole and bat in Japanese. Okay, it looks like we are headed back over to the Hawthorne Hut. But Moogles are something that we are also going to meet in the game here eventually. I think we see our first example of them in the South Shroud, but that's still a little ways off. Ah, you're back. Was my wife able to direct you to a suitable offering? Milkroot. But of course, those sylphs quaff the cloudy stuff as quick as I do a flagon of mead. The effect's just about the same as well. Any road, a gift of Milkroot will have the sylphs calling you friend and brother the moment they lay eyes on it. Now let me wrap that up for you. I'm starting to feel a bit woozy. I've taken the liberty of wrapping your Milkroot well and good. This should keep it nice and fresh, not to mention spare you from the god's awful stench. The sylphs love the stuff, but me, I'd rather bury my nose in chocobo dung. I dare say the reek even rivals the breath of the Morble that put an end to my adventuring days. But I can tell you that story another time. You've more important matters to attend to today, yes? The sylphs are an eccentric bunch, but I've shared their company enough to know their kind at heart. They'll not shun one whose intentions are true. May your parley be a fruitful one, friend, and do stop by on your return. There's a flagon of full flower mead with your name on it if you'd regale me with your adventuring tales. Ah, and before I forget, don't go traipsing off just yet. Elaine here would have a word with you. Travel in safety, friend, and do pass along my regards to the winged ones. Alright, Elaine. It's good to see your knowledge of Sylphic culture has matured. I see no reason to delay your mission any further. Upon your arrival at Little Solace, seek out a young sylph by the name of Komuxio. He has served as an intermediary between our peoples on many an occasion, and has the close ear of the tribe's elder. I see the Hawthorne has furnished you with some of that malodorous root that the sylphs so adore. I have something of far greater import for you to deliver, a missive from the Elder Seedseer herself. To summarize the letter's contents in brief, it vouches for the integrity of our envoy, that would be you, and restates Gridania's desire to maintain a harmonious relationship with our long-standing friends of the forest. The war with the Ixal has taken a toll on our resources. We can ill afford to get mired in another conflict. I need not impress upon you any further the importance of this mission. May the 12 see you return with good tidings. Alright. So let's go ahead and make our way over. Looks like there's a fate up. But this is only a level 16. We are level 27, so that's not going to do too much for us. Plus, it's just a single enemy there. There they are. So, let's get a good view of these guys. These are the sylphs. Walking One is not familiar to this one. This one does not trust strange walking ones. Strange dancing ones might be a different story, but this one expects no such thing. Walking One should go home and leave this one be. So, that is basically telling us what we need to do next here. So, we need to perform a dance. So, let's do /dance and make sure it's lowercase letters. This one would welcome Walking One who moves like these ones. If Walking One would talk to this one will answer. This one is a busy one, so Walking One should speak with quick tongue. Walking One would bring gift to this one. Walking One is most kind. So the milk root and the letter. Walking One brings milk root. Milk root fills this one with great joy. This one gives thanks. Gives many, many thanks. Walking One carries message for Elder One. This one will deliver the message to Elder One. Walking One should not worry. Hello there. We're envoys from GRIDANIA, and we're here to treat with your people. Aye, we come to pay our respects to your elder, and to learn from him more of your Lord Ramuh. Who are these ones? These walking ones come from GRIDANIA? Walking One became a dancing one and brought milk root, but Walking One tricks this one. This one does not like tricks. This one will speak no more. Elder One is busy. Walking One should go home. Go home, you say? But the sylphs of Little Solace have always welcomed GRIDANIan envoys with open wings. The letter carried by Prince here is an oath of peace penned by the Elder Seedseer herself. Still you would refuse us? This one's reasons are no business of Walking One's. Elder One has no words for GRIDANIA. Walking Ones waste everyone's time. Well, I never turned away at the gates. Whatever did we do to deceive such a rude welcome? To deserve such a rude welcome? Was Princess Jig insufficiently jiggy? I'm as baffled as you, but something tells me recent events have our erstwhile fluttery friends feeling uncommonly wary. It would seem we've no choice but to ask around and see how we might earn their trust. Alright, so let's see what our options are here. So, a weak silencing, a weak sleeping, or a weak paralyzing. More than likely, the better option here is going to be the weak sleeping. That will give us a 20-second stun on a target, so let me go ahead and put that on our hotbar here. Well, this armor was given to me in the last episode from the guild master at the Gladiators Guild. So that would actually make sense in terms of how this armor looks. Say, Prince, are you in the mood for dancing? That's right, dancing. You went through all that trouble to learn the Sylph's traditional greeting, but you've greeted hardly any of them. While you're at it, why not dance for the Gridanians around here as well? Why, if I were a Sylph, I'd be beside myself with delight to see an adventurer sharing my culture with his own kind. Me? Of course I'd be happy to join. Ow, ow! There go those bloody leg cramps of mine acting up again. Come on! Alright, so let's go ahead and dance. Ooh, Walking One knows Jolly Dance. Jolly Dance fills this one with good cheer. Let these two be friends. That's some fine dancing, friend. Why, if you were half as tall and twice as green, I might have mistaken you for a sylph myself. Any road, the sylphs are a peaceful folk. Approach them with an open mind and heart, and they'll open up to you in turn. I didn't mean to do that. Let's, So one thing that you can do is actually, once you get the command in place, you can hit slash, and then that will open up your chat, and then just hit the up arrow, and that will then let you do the same command again. How charming! You'll fit right in here in Little Solace. Be forewarned, though, such pleasantries will get you nowhere with the sylphs who dwell in the homeland. Walking One would be a friend of these ones? This one is overjoyed, but this one keeps the ways of weaving a secret. Even if Walking One learned the secret, Walking One could not weave in the same way. Walking One has sprightly steps. This one is amused. Hee hee. But this one is still sleepy. Okay, maybe their snore isn't that bad. Magnificent! You'd make an excellent ambassador to Little Solace, friend. Mind you, not all sylphs are so welcoming of outsiders. The woodland sprites would gut you before you got your feet off the ground. Ah, this one is a dancing one. This one is always happy to see dancing ones. Tee-hee! Alright, we got one more to go. And I know, 8 of them seems a little much, to be honest. Ah, Walking One is a friend of these ones. Friendly like gracious Elder One of Forest City. Knows how to dance in these ones' hearts. Okay, so let's see. We need to speak to UL'DAH again. Prince, would you like to hear the good news or the better news? The good news is that your lovely dancing has brought smiles and high spirits to all of Little Solace. The better news? Why, I've thoroughly recovered from those accursed leg crack. God dang it! Onward to our next adventure. Okay, with that we've reached level 28, and we acquired the trait Enhanced Fight or Flight, so that should make our fight or flight last longer. Let's take a quick look here. Yes, it extends it to 30 seconds. Let's go ahead and put that point into Vitality here. Alright, Papalimo. Prince, as an adventurer, you're no stranger to helping distressed folk, I'd wager. Tales of good deeds are quick to spread. The adventurer who comes to the aid of the local populace can go from stranger to hero overnight. No doubt you see what I'm getting at. The sylphs who make their home in Little Solace do so, having been driven from their woodland home. Surely they have their fair share of troubles. Seek out troubled sylphs, and see what might be done to ease their worries. A sound plan, would you not say? That said, the sylphs are not known to share their worries with outsiders. You would be better off inquiring with Hera Imedia of the Gridanians who reside here. She is most like to be privy to the sylphs' troubles. Ah, you've returned. Praise be to the elements. I cannot express how happy I am to see an adventurer with a truly gentle heart. The sylphs of Little Solace are sorely in need of aid. Pray hear me out. Being a temporary settlement, Little Solace wants for amenities, not least a stout set of defenses. Consequently, beasts from malms around are free to wander in and terrorize the hapless residents. If you could put down the Zis Gorlins and Galnats that roam these parts, 5 of each should suffice. The sylphs and I would be eternally grateful. Furthermore, perhaps you could gather 5 brownie bushes as well? They play an important role in sylphic culture. I do not claim to know the details, and what with such feral beasts prowling the forest, they are not easily come by. When you are done with the deeds, seek out Kumuxio. He is slow to warm to outsiders, but your good intentions will not be lost to him. My own experience speaks to this. Alrighty. And let me also just take a quick look at some of the other quests here. Walking one may dance many dances, but this one doesn't like walking ones. Why? Because walking ones don't listen. That's why. If walking one wants to be friend to this one, walking one should listen, and listen good. This one has itchy spot on back. Walking one should poke it. You want me to poke you? Okay. I think I missed. Teehee. Walking one fell into trap. Touching this one turns walking one's skin into moss. Teehee. Mossy one's skin turns greener and greener. Mossy one should examine itself to see how silly Mossy one has become. So, let's see. There is... Yeah, so the command doesn't work like that. We need to go under emotes. And then... Let's see. Where is it? Here it is. Examine self. Did it not trigger? Or do I need to do it at you? There we go. Hee hee hee. Walking one is so silly. There is no curse, silly one. This one tricks silly one good. Yes, this one is smart. Silly one should congratulate this one for being smart. Alright, so... That's right, silly one. This one is very, very smart one. Silly one is smart to know this. Silly one makes this one laugh. This one likes to laugh. Maybe silly one is not so bad after all. Okay, and what else do you have? Alright, so... These ones need help. Please help these ones. Vile ones called buzzing... Jigas. Think these ones are food. Attack these ones. Attack whenever these ones go into the forest to bathe in sunlight. Some of these ones have gone into the forest to lure out vile ones. This one wants walking one to wait for vile ones. Wait nearby, and slay vile ones that come. Alrighty. And let's see what you want. Let me just take a quick look at the rewards. Honestly, that's not going to do much for me, so we are going to pass on that one. Alright, let's take out these Ziz Gorlins. At this point, the best way to do damage is pretty much going to be the 1-2-3 combo of Fast Blade, Savage Blade, and Rage of Halone. Especially with the combo potency of 260 down there. But you can also open it with a Fracture to get some extra damage in there. I could technically just move on and just let the rest of the dot tick away and take it down. Okay, that's that. Let's move on to the next target. Here's a brownie bush. And this should be for the quest Buzzkill, I believe. Here we go. And it looks like a fate popped up to the south, so we are going to take that on as well. Whoops, one more. And another. How many of these are there? There we go. Okay, let's make our way to the south. And let's make our way over to the Fate. Yeah, with that level sync, it removed my ability to use the Rage of Helone there, so... We just got our Riot Blade combo to use now. Since that's gonna do the most damage, and we don't have to worry about enmity. Let's see, while we're taking these guys down, let me just take a quick look at my inventory here. With regards to these Allagan pieces, we're just going to hang on to those until we actually need to make a big purchase, at which point I'll just go ahead and sell all of these. Beyond that, let's go ahead and sort this, actually. There doesn't seem to be too much else that we need to worry about in here. Eventually we will have to make some room for items. But we just don't have to worry about that right now. One thing that can be nice if you're able to handle multiple enemies as a gladiator is you can use Fracture on a whole group of them, and then while you're fighting one of them, the rest of the enemies are just taking away light from the life from the dot. Looks like we probably need one or two more. Okay, this should be the last one. Down it goes! And that is a successful fate. So we got 109 seals from that. And it appears we got another fate up here. And this appears to be a special fate. Or at least that's what that music signifies. We probably wouldn't be able to take this one on, to be honest. There are just fates popping up all over the place here. Okay, so while we're taking down this Gulnat, take a look over here. This is one of the castroms that the Garleans have built in the 12's Wood. It's my understanding that in the next patch of the game, this is where one of the dungeons is going to take place. Alright, since this guy is trying to take these guys out, I'll go ahead and help him as well. The real target that we want right here is the Jackanapes. Actually, it looks like they might be disconnecting. That's what that symbol there represents. I'm still willing to try to take this guy down. Let's see if he likes a stun. I don't think he does. Yeah, with this one there isn't too much that we can do to kind of speed up the combat here. This is just pretty much just taking down kind of a boss level creature, or at least a boss level for the Fate. But the big guy over, we can't see him from here. But the big guy that was over there, really, that's something that you would want a full party to take down. So you want to at least have some DPS as well as a healer. I suppose if we were properly geared, we might have a better chance of taking it down. But just as a quick reminder, most of my stuff is actually still level 17, while my class is level 26, I think. No, 28. So, my gear is actually kind of way out of date at this point. And that's something that we're going to have to address pretty soon here. In fact, it might be a good idea if we make a little side trip today into the South Shroud, even though we're not really ready to get there in terms of the story just yet. But as some of you may remember, in the last episode, I had a little trouble finding higher level gear. But for the moment, let's just go ahead and grab the last of the brownie bush and let's head back into Little Solace. Let's see, I think it's over here. There it is. You can kind of use the mini-map a little bit. It'll show a little orange outline for wherever your target item is, if you need to collect something, or if you need to take out a target. Alright, let's speak to Laxio first. These ones must bathe in sunlight to survive. Without sunlight, these ones will fall ill. Fall ill and shrivel away to no ones. Thanks to Walking One, these ones can safely bathe in sunlight again. Praise be to Walking One. Alright, so we've got a choice of antelope steak or grape juice. Antelope steak is going to give us the better thing here. And let's grab that steak, let's put that on the hot bar. Dancing One is still here. Dancing One can dance all day. This one's trust is not so easily earned. And let's hand over the brownie bushes. Dancing One brings brownie bushes? Did I say bushes this whole time? Brownie brushes for this one. This one can dye thread once more. This one is pleased. Dancing One kills bitey, buzzy ones. This one hates bitey, buzzy ones. Dancing One is kind, too kind. Many walking ones come to these ones' abode, but few are friendly like the Dancing One. Perhaps this one was wrong not to trust Dancing One after all. This one asks Dancing One for forgiveness. These ones have many troubles since Walking Ones last came to our abode. This one must be careful, always careful. But Dancing One is not like other Walking Ones. This one can trust Dancing One. This one would ask Dancing One for help. Strange Walking Ones with bodies of steel come to home of these ones. This one thinks steel ones come from Empire. Hey, thank you for tuning in! Where Empire goes, many living ones become dead ones. Trees fall and bushes burn. These ones' home is in danger. Danger! This one begs of Dancing One to help this one no more. Dancing One is friends with these ones and Walking Ones, yes? Dancing One must speak to these ones here and Walking Ones in Hut House and find out more. Sorry to hear your connection is messing up there. Remember, you can always check the video after the live stream. This one has bad feeling. This one fears Steel Ones are after something. But this one should speak no more. Go, Dancing One. This one depends on kindness of Dancing One. Okay, so we need to investigate suspicious presence. Strange steel walking ones? Yes, this one has seen. Steel walking ones carry big boxes. Maybe walking ones hunt for shiny treasure. This one likes treasure. Shush, shush, this one says. Steel walking ones are scary, like touched ones. This one hates scary, and scary ones have scary friends. Alright, so we are headed back over to the Hawthorne Hut now for the other points we need to investigate. Personally, I like Gladiator most. I've gone through Lancer and Conjurer as well, but my heart has always been kind of a tank. I'm still kind of leveling up with the other 2 tank classes on my other character, so I can't really give you a full review of those just yet. But Paladin is more of a traditional sword and board tank, so that's typically kind of what I like to play. Fearsome types clad head to toe in steel, you say? Imperial soldiers, no doubt. I couldn't tell you what they're plotting, but I'm sure it's nothing good. Men clad in strange armor? Why, now that you mention it, I did see some suspicious types of late. They were gathering deep in the forest. I simply assumed they were adventurers. Alright, let's head back over to Little Solace. And it appears we've got a fate here, so let's see what we can do to help out. One of the kind of cool things about being a gladiator is you can use your flash ability, and that will count as effectively hitting an enemy. So if there's a bunch of people in a fate like this, you can just use flash and grab hits on all the enemies. Yeah, DPS queue times kind of suck in most MMOs. It's typically better to go either healer or tank if you can for your first class. Particularly in this game because you can have all the classes on a single character. Alright, so we got 97 Serpent Seals out of that. Let's go speak to Komuxio. This one is happy to see Dancing One return. What did Dancing One learn? This one sees steel walking ones come from Empire, carry boxes, and go walking deep, deep through trees. As this one thought, steel walking ones are up to nasty, no good things. This one knows forest well. Steel walking ones try to hide, but this one will find them. This one would borrow Dancing One's map. This one makes mark, right here. This is where steel ones hide. This one knows. Dancing One will go looking for steel ones, yes? Alright. So we need to go and find them. And that is leading us back towards the Hawthorne Hut again. Okay, so whenever we got a circle like this, it's kind of a funny thing. The game is trying to execute a trigger that basically spawns a bunch of enemies. So, kind of a little trick that you can use to find out if you need to get ready for some enemies that are going to pop up. Here we go. Alright, so let's put that into practice now. Let's go ahead and fracture the whole bunch. And just always keep in mind that it's that stays up for 18 seconds, and then you need to refresh it. Yes, that is one of the plans I have, because it really doesn't make any sense for me to not do that, given that by getting the Paladin job, it allows me to get access to the oaths, which basically either increase my DPS or they increase my ability to hold enmity. Alright, let's head back over to Comuxio. Obviously, I have to get my secondary class up first before I can do that. But we will be there fairly soon, actually. Dancing One is back. This one breathed sigh of relief. This one was worried. Dancing One found something? Dancing One found paper inside of box. This is a message from Empire. This one can read Walking One's symbols. Message paper has names of food and rocks. Food and rocks were inside boxes, this one knows. But this one does not understand. Food and rocks mentioned all come from home of these ones. How does Steel Walking Ones know to find them? Is there sneaky one hiding behind this one's wings? Snooping one selling secrets to Steel Walking Ones? This one fears for this one's home. But Dancing One has helped this one much today. Dancing One must promise to always be friend to these ones. Okay, so let's grab the high potions. Glad you could join us, King's Crown. Helpful One arrives at a good time. This one needs Helpful One's help. One of these one's named Claxio ventured outside Little Solace alone. Alone is unsafe. Helpful One must find Claxio. Claxio struck west after leaving the settlement. Hurry before Claxio ends up in the belly of a beastly one. Hey, no problem. I'm here to impart whatever wisdom I can about the game. Alright, here's Claxio. What? Walking One wants this one to return to Little Solace? Don't make this one laugh. This one is weary of living with those who are not these ones. This one wants to be alone. These ones rely on Walking Ones for everything. No better than those ones that summoned a Primal One. Small wonder this one chose to leave. This one thought this is a likely place to build a home, but then Meddling One arrives, forces this one to go deeper into the forest. Meddling One is forbidden from following this one. Away with Meddling One! Alright, let's head back over to Little Solace. And I'm also going to move Ahriman down to my minus sign at this point, just so I'm not having to constantly hit the shift key to get to it. What? Claxio refused to return to these ones, and went deeper into the forest? But this one saw touched ones lurking in the forest. Helpful One must hurry and find Claxio. Helpful One should search for pieces of thread on the forest floor. Those things will lead to Helpful One to Claxio. But hurry before touched ones take Claxio away. Alright, over to the northwest now. And it appears we've run into another fate here, so... let's see. We got diseased treants to take care of. Okay, we joined that one kind of late, so we didn't get the full effect of that one, but we still got 69 seals out of it. Now, what's interesting here is we just ran into something called Stinging Sophie. Now, similar to the hunts that I described previously, this guy is also a hunt, but this is a B rank, and you need to actually have the hunt mark in order to actually get credit for that one. So, we might eventually get into that, but for the moment here, he's level 50, we really can't do anything about it. In the meantime, I am being attacked by wild boars. Okay, we just unlocked to crush your enemies. And that means we just killed, we've killed 1,000 enemies at this point. Alright, looks like Plaxio is up here. There they are. And this is going to be a synced battle. You can sometimes get that from other players, but really, as long as you kind of go at your own pace, you really shouldn't. As long as you're not looking at high-end rating, most people shouldn't really bother you about what you're doing in game. Meddling One is back. This one told Meddling One to be gone. Tell Comuxio that this one will never go back. Never. Touched ones. Touched ones should go away too. This one is good one. Everyone should just leave this one alone. Be on guard, Prince. These sylphs have been tempered, brought under the thrall of the primal Ramu. Akin to the Amalja tempered by Ifrit, these sylphs exist only to serve their deity. They'll not answer to words, only steal. I take no pleasure in this, but it must be done. Alright, so we have to take these guys out. Plaxio, these ones are your friend. Come with these ones. Serve Primal One together. No, this one is good one. We'll never go with bad ones. Regarding the mounts, it really doesn't... It's really up to what you feel. Personally, though, I have not found a need to purchase those, because for me, it's all about function, and there's really no difference in function between what you get in game and what you can purchase. That's more aesthetic looks. Alright, so it looks like Papa Limo and Yida are taking care of the marble over there. We just have to worry about the sylphs. There's something not right about this marble. Ignore it and focus your attacks on the sylph. That's what I'm doing. Hurry up, Papa Limo. I can't bear this stench any longer. I'm doing the best I can. If we dispatch these sylphs, surely... Alright, one left. Alright, now onto the Milk Mobile. Or I guess not. This one is safe? This one was so scared. Claxio. This one has been worried. So very worried. Is Claxio unharmed? Still in possession of wits? Comuxio? And meddling one is well. Why are these two here? These two came to rescue Claxio. That Claxio is safe fills this one with joy. Comuxio, forgive this one. This one did not mean to run away from Little Solace. This one was just afraid. These ones who live at Little Solace were changing, becoming friendly with other ones. This one feared that these ones were forgetting who these ones are, like touched ones did. But this one was wrong. This one can see that now. Meddling helpful one. This one is grateful. This one will return to Little Solace to be with Comuxio and friendly one. Well, that should see to that. What say we return to Little Solace as well? I, for one, could do with a nice hot bath. Alright, let's make our way over. Okay, we have arrived. This one thought Claxio was lost forever. Helpful one saved Claxio. Now these ones can be family again. This one has known many walking ones, even many kind walking ones. But Helpful one is kindest and strongest of all. Helpful one is a hero to these ones. Helpful one will bring these ones and walking ones closer together. This one knows. This one would take Helpful one to seed Elder one. But Elder one is... This one must ask Kind One's forgiveness. This one made promise to take Kind One to see Elder One, yes? But this one cannot. This one cannot because Elder One is not here. Elder One is not anywhere. Elder One went into forest yesterday, but has not come back. This one is worried. Elder One often goes into forest, but never for this long. Kind One will help find Elder One, yes? Near where Elder One disappeared is the home of a walking one named Buscaron. Buscaron may know what happened to Elder One. This one would talk to Buscaron, but walking ones do not always trust these ones. Would Kind One talk to Buscaron for this one? And Kind One comes from Gridania, yes? In Gridania may live many kind ones, yes? This one begs of Kind One. Please go to Gridania and ask fellow Kind Ones for help. And please hurry. These ones are not safe until Elder One returns. Well, before we do that, we have a fate to take care of. Once again, we definitely do want to do as many faces as we can, just so that we can get as many seals as possible. In fact, let's see where we are on those here. Looks like we're at 3,395 there. Okay, we're about halfway done with this fate. Just to note, I've switched over to using my Savage Blade at this point, just so that I can try to grab Enmity where I can. Rather than having the hits go on to the DPS over there. Okay, and we have completed that one. So, we need to head back over to GRIDANIA at this point. And let's head over to the Adder's Nest. Now before we do anything else, let's just take a quick look at what they've got here. So while there is an upgrade here, keep in mind, the armor that we're wearing takes away our helmet slot. So if we put that on, we're not going to be able to wear our most powerful armor. Looks like we would need to get at least a little bit more ranked here in order to actually be able to use some of this gear here. Now I'm just looking through a couple of other things here real quick. Alright, so what I want to do here is I want to apply for a promotion here. And that's going to cost us 2,000 seals. In the sight of the elementals, I hereby confer upon you the rank of Serpent Private 2nd Class and all rights and privileges associated with the title. Go forth and do that which brings peace to the Twelves Wood and honor to our name. Let's see. So what is next if we want that? So if we want to apply for another promotion, we would need to pay 3,000 seals next. And typically that's the way that you get most of the promotions. There are certain quest-based ones, though. Alright, let's proceed with the quest. Well, if it is our intrepid ambassador, how fare your diplomatic efforts with the Sylph tribes? Their elders gone missing, you say? Why, if he were to end up in the hands of the Tempered Ones, we'd have a crisis on our hands. You can assure the sylphs that my sharpest-eyed serpents will be on the lookout night and day. No stone must be left unturned. I would ask you to call upon Gaia Molka at Brent Branch Meadows, and deliver the message that the Wood Whalers are needed in the search effort. Okay, that's actually going to send us into the South Shroud, actually, so that's perfect timing. Since I said we were going to need to head down there anyway. If we... let's see. So we want the Black Shroud. Okay, Brent Branch is actually over here. And I do actually have that available for teleport. A message from Commander Hulot, you say. The Sylph Elder has vanished? Worry not, friend. The Wood Whalers have eyes under every leaf, behind every branch. If the Elder is anywhere in these forests, we shall find him. And now this sends us into the South Shroud. So, the way we get down to there is actually over here. So, let's go ahead and hop on our mount. And we're going to have kind of a little bit of a trip here to go. Oh, the story gets a lot better from here, actually. Especially once we get past the first set of content, which ends at level 50. I would say, actually, no. I would say the best of the content starts around patch 2.3 or 2.4. From there, the writing just gets really good. And there's also some side content that opens up eventually that, if we have time, I'll try to get through that before Stormblood comes out, but I can't guarantee that we're going to make it in time. Even now, I'm having a rush because the date that we were given for Stormblood is earlier than I thought it was going to be. They said in early summer. It's actually before summer even starts. So, I'm basically having to... I have effectively until June 20th to get through this game, all the content patches for this game, plus the Heaven's Ward expansion, plus all the patches for the Heaven's Ward expansion. Now, that's just a lot of content. And I see on target, so let's take these guys out here. But it's, we're talking hundreds of quests that I have to get through, basically. There are some kind of quieter parts to it, or some points where the story, I don't know, it doesn't exactly shine, but for the most part, it is a very enjoyable experience to go through the story. And this is a story-based Let's Play, so no reason that we should be having any problems here in terms of me giving you that experience. And with all the talk of jump potions lately, I'm curious if this is actually going to perhaps be of use to people in the future. For those that eventually do want to kind of jump around past the story, but maybe go back and watch key points. Anyway, we're at our next target here. Well met, adventurer. We have the finest grog and grub this side of... Eh? Not here to fill your belly, then? Ah, a hunger for news, is it? Aye, there's been talk of a sylph lurking hereabout, but I couldn't rightly say if it be the elder you seek. Those woodland scamps all look alike. Short of painting one red and another one blue, most folk would struggle to tell the two of them apart. If you've the time, mayhap you could stay a while and see what the gods have in store. You never know, you might even stumble across the sylph elder yourself. Okay, that's that quest. Let's talk to him again. No word on the sylph elder yet, but I'm sure it's only a matter of time. In the meantime, how about doing a favor for old Buscaron in return? Right then, let's put you to work. There's a customer outside who's spoiling for a fight, and I need you to cool him off for me. No need to go cracking any skulls, though. Just grab the tub out back, fill it with cold water, and douse the drunkard. Tends to do the trick. My patrons can swill grog all night and carouse loud enough to wake the dead if they wish. But as soon as it turns violent, I've got to put my boot down. Well, before we take care of that, let's take care of this hunt target as well. Remember, when we do these hunt targets, they give us a bonus to experience. In fact, let's just go ahead and open that up real quick. So we are taking care of this one. Yeah, I think we're going to start kind of going all over the place for the hunt targets, actually. Okay, one more to go. And that is our hunt target. That gave us 6,700 experience. Alright, let's grab the empty tub here. And then we need to place the tub in the river. And now let's grab it. And it looks like our target is over here. So let's select him, and let's use the water-filled tub. Oh, I'm standing on nothing. Ah, Nafika's teats, that's cold. What do you mean, no fighting? This dusk-white scum was... Yeah, I know the rules. That bastard gets to keep his skin, for now. Oops, I don't want you. Nicely done, Prince. I'll not have my patrons picking fights with each other over a bit of petty prejudice. In case you didn't see, the bloke who caught the brunt of that outburst is a dusk-white Elizan. There are people who shun cities to live in the wilds. making them no better than brigands in the eyes of many. To be fair, the Dusk Whites can be an unruly lot, but they ain't so bad once you get to know them. And it don't seem right to bar a whole race of people from the Drothers for the misdeeds of a few. There should be at least one place where anyone willing to pay the coin and drink in peace is welcome, don't you think? Alright, what do we have here? So we have a chicken egg. And then we have a hat. That's not going to do much for us. Roast dodo. That could be useful. Let's go ahead and grab that. And we'll throw this on our hot bar as well. Actually, let me start to move things down a bit here. There we go. I appreciate all the good you've done for our patrons. If you aren't disinclined, I have a favor of my own to ask you. There's a Quigiran friend of mine, you see, name of Teteroon, a good lad. It was right after the calamity that I came across him fallen in the Shroud. He nearly died in all the havoc, so I took him in and nursed him back to health best I could. He worked here at my Druthers for a spell after that. Got to talking about striking out on his own, he did, and not long after cast his lot with a merchant bound for Lonoska. Well, it just so happens I got to cleaning up around here and came across something of his, this scarlet earring. I know he was fond of the thing, but he must have just forgotten it when he left, so I'd like to see that it gets to him. Can't say for sure where he ended up, but might be a friend of mine can. A Rogadin fellow by the name of Baensing. You can find him on Hawker's Alley in Limsaluminsa. He knows everything of the comings and goings of merchants there. Okay, and before we make our way over there, I do want to go around to the two towns in the area and catch their aetherites. And as you can see, there are a lot of people here. The reason for that is this is the entrance to a place called the Palace of the Dead. That's something we're going to check out eventually, but not today. I do want to... let's see, here it is. Let's touch the aetherite, so we can attune ourselves to it. And I want to speak to these guys over here. I want to check what they've got for gear. Okay, so I really don't need a sword because we're going to get another pretty soon. But let's take a look at the battle gear. Okay, so this actually looks pretty close to what we need, to be honest. Let me just double check. So... they've got the heavy iron armor, which I'm already wearing, so I'm going to keep what I've got there. But they've also got heavy iron gauntlets. And let's go ahead and purchase those. They have a new belt. And they've got the heavy iron flint shard, which is actually going to get rid of our feet gear as well. That's fine. Let's go ahead and get things on. So that's item level 25. item level 25. And item level 25. So that gives us a nice boost in our gear now. Still have to figure out what we're going to do with all these over here. But now we're basically wearing the full set of armor. Alright, let's also make our way over to the other town, which is down over here. And the reason we're headed down to here is we're actually going to need to come back here fairly soon after this. To take care of a quest here. Okay, what just happened here is one of the enemies that was chasing me hit me with a heavy status, and that basically slows me down in terms of how fast I can move. Unfortunately, there isn't anything I can do about it, so it's best if you try to avoid targets when you can. You know what? I'm curious if we can actually take on this target in here. I think we got a good chance of doing it. So basically what's making up my attacks at this point is I start with a Fracture, and then I go into a Rage of Cologne combo. And I do that twice, and then I rotate back to Fracture. The Fracture continues to take damage onto the enemy, while we get our main damage off of our Rage of Cologne. So it's going to be close, but I think we should be able to take him out before he takes us out. And down goes Sirocco. Okay, and somebody was asking earlier about Moogles. I believe these are the first Moogles that we're going to be seeing here in the game. Let's kind of zoom in. So yeah, they're basically a combination of a mole and bat in Japanese. That's what Moogle stands for, and as you can see, they're they're basically little winged things that have a pom-pom on their head. So that's what a Moogle is. We'll be interacting with them quite a bit more as the story progresses. Now, I do want to check out real quick what this guy has as well for armor. Okay, he's got some stuff, but it's not anything that we can wear just yet, so that's fine. Let's attune to the Aetheryte. And now we need to make our way back over to Limsa Lominsa. Alright, and it looks like they're over to the west. And I think we want to head to the Arcanist Guild. You found your way to Akker's Alley, friend? A Quirin? What worked at the Truthers? Aye, you speak of Titaroon. Related to that Kyokyurun bloke just over there by some blood or another. Two of them put in together and were making good coin, but old Titaroon up and left Limsa not long ago. Couldn't say what as to why or where. You're better off asking Kyokyurun himself. He can be a bit tight of lip, though. I warn ye. Best to take a chicken egg with ye. Little bastard loves the bloody things. Heh. Good to hear about old Busk, though. Sounds as though he ain't changed a bit. Just like him to send an adventurer along. Too shy to come his own self. Gods, I miss drinking with that fool. Alright. Customer, be welcome. Not customer? Not come for custom? Kyokyurun busy with business. Too busy for blather. Alright, let's hand over the chicken egg we just got. Chicken egg. Kyokyurun love chicken egg. Love chicken egg more than love customer. Looking for Titaroon? Titaroon no here no more. Titaroon leave Limsa. Titaroon go look for Sparklies. Now working at Trading Post. Good Trading Post. Forget where Trading Post is. Weinberg no Titaroon. Weinberg no Trading Post. Weinberg at Ferry Docks. You go to Ferry Docks. Kyokyurun forget things. Weinberg remember things. You talk to Weinberg, not Kyokyurun. Oh, it's a tongue twister, that name. Alright, so down to the ferry docks. So to the Fisherman Guild, I believe. Here we go. Titaroon? Aye, I seen him. That is to say, I saw him. He was headed somewhere up north, by way of the ferry to Aleport. Might as well head there and see what you can suss out. The skipper here can take you there. When you arrive, I'd start by asking Aldfoot. He's an old hand what knows a great deal about a great many things. Alright, to Aleport. Tetrarune? Aye, I saw him. That is to say, I seen him. He took himself north, through Skull Valley, into Oakwood. Was looking for a place to run by his fellow Kikrin. I reckon he meant the one right on the shore of Bronze Lake. Memorune's trading post. Follow the road and you're sure to find it. Alright, with that, let's hop on our Arimon. And we are headed up to here. I gotta say, one of the things I just love about this game is just the way that it looks. It's a very beautiful game for an MMO. Okay, it looks like there's a fate in our way here, so let's go ahead and join into that. And we've also got some stone shells here as well, and that is another hunt target for us. Alright, based on what I'm seeing here, it doesn't look like we'll actually be able to take this one out. Even though we are higher geared and even level synced. So let's go ahead and back away from him, and we are going to instead focus on the stone shells here. You're not the only one. I'm doing the best that I can with these pronunciations. You might be a little further back, though, in terms of where you are. I'm not sure if you're seeing what's live right now. If that's the case, you may not hear this for a little bit. Okay, actually we didn't need another of the stone shells. But I'll go ahead and take this one out. Okay, let's make our way into the little encampment here. Customer, be welcome. Not customer, not come with custom. Bring something for Tetrarune. Tetrarune forget this? Forget at Druther's. Tetrarune swore would never forget Earring, but never forget forgot. Tetrarune thank. Tetrarune thank. Good Buscaroon. Doing good? Good Buscaroon, good to Tetrarune. Tetrarune miss good Buscaroon. Okay, what do we have here? Alright, so all of this, this sword is weaker than what we've currently got, so let's go ahead and grab the Allegan pieces. Good Buscaroon help Tetrarune. Tetraroon dead without good Buscaroon. Must give thankies. Many, many thankies. Tetraroon make Hyukurin firewater for Buscaroon. Buscaroon love firewater. You help Tetraroon make firewater? Need thingies to make. Need many, many thingies. Need good water. Good water from Full Falls. And need coral whiskers. Need 5 good coral whiskers. Alright. So let's go ahead and mount up, and we are headed over to here. Now, when I originally leveled up, the fact that I had not been keeping up with my gear is that this was actually the point where that started to be problematic for me. So I wanted to make sure that I did that before we came here. Alright, let's just make sure nothing's gonna follow us down. Okay, good. He turned away. Alright, because we basically have a drop to make here. There we go. Okay, let's back off. Last thing we need here is something seeing us, as we're trying to recover our health from the fall. Okay, that should be good. Let's go ahead and attack the hunt target here. Okay, we're gonna need one more Pickman. I don't see one around, so we may have to wait for a respawn. Or it could just be as simple as heading up here. I'm not seeing any, though. Alright, we'll check that out once we're done with the whiskers. And this is our first encounter with corals. These guys are basically a cross between a lizard and a cat, as you can see. Yeah, so in terms of gear, you get access to the armory, which basically allows you to hold all different kinds of weapons and armor. And then you also get the ability to use... the name is slipping me right now, but they you get to use two item holders that basically allow you to collect items onto them, and then there's also a chest in the in-room which allows you to put specialty items in there for like armor from events and such. let's start to make our way over to the spring here. Alright, we need to take out 2 more of them, and those corals are also hunt targets as well, so that's really good, because that'll also give us an experience boost. Now you might be noticing my hotbars dim every now and then. That's because I'm being paralyzed by the corals here. And every now and then it's going to essentially stun me for a moment and prevent me from moving or taking any actions. Okay, that's all the corals we need. Let's make our way out of here. And let's also see if that one guy has respawned yet. It did. Okay, great. So let's go ahead and attack him. Okay, so that hunt target was actually for the Order of the Twin Adder. Let me open that up real quick here. If we click down here, there are certain hunt targets that we can go after, specifically that give us extra seals. And so those will also help us to get additional seals. Okay, Tetraroon make firewater for Buscaroon. You bring thingies Tetraroon need? Let's hand them over. You brought all thingies. Tetraroon make firewater now. Make good firewater for good Buscaroon. Tetraroon start making firewater now. Good firewater take time, more good. You come back later. Okay. So we've got all these options here, but none of these are really useful for us, so I'm just going to grab the one that sells for the most gil. And it looks like it's split between these 2 items here, so we'll go with that one. Tetraroon make firewater. Good firewater. You take to Buscaroon. Good firewater for good Buscaroon. Tell Buscaroon no drink now. Tell put away 1 year. 1 year make best flavor. Tetraroon hopes Buscaroon happy. Tetraroon gives Buscaroon thankies. Many thankies. You tell Buscaroon. Tetraroon make big shop someday. Biggest shop in Eorzea. Make many sparklies. All thanks to good Buscaroon. Okay, so we need to deliver that, but first I'm gonna hop on the ferry over here. Adventurer wants going to shop of Ginger room, adventurer give 40 gil. I'm fine with that. And that basically takes us across the lake over here. I want to make sure that I head to Camp Bronze Lake here first before we head out. Okay, there's the Aetheryte. And so that will make getting back to here pretty easy. Okay, so let's head back down to the South Shroud. Okay, it looks like there's a fate up here, so let's go ahead and take this on. The problem with these Ked traps is they don't like to follow you. Let's start to go around and use Fracture on all of them. Hopefully that one there doesn't see me. We're probably not going to be able to complete this one given the amount of time that's left here. And if I can finish this last one off, I think we'll still get either silver or gold. Okay, we did get gold on that. Even though the fate failed, it still gave us enough experience to level up to level 29. Alright, and let's go speak to Buscaron again here. Ah, you've returned. Thank you for seeing Tetrarune's belongings to him. What's this, for me? Kick her in firewater. So he remembers my fondness for the drink, does he? Why that old... Ah, bloody hells. Who's cutting onions back there? He says to shelve it for a year, does he? Aye, that sounds about right. I hate to have to wait, but I reckon it'll be worth it. This stuff has an aroma and body unlike any other drink I know. It's going to be a long year. What say you come back then, friend? We'll see if we can't make it through the bottle together. Alright, so we just purchased ourselves some leggings that have boots built in. So let's just grab the silver pieces. There was word while you were away. Sylphs were seen in the wood, but near no lands of their own. No, this was a place near to here. A place we've never known a sylph to come. Something must have given them cause to venture this far. More than like the missing sylph elders among them. Here, I've marked the tract where they were sighted on your map. Go see if there's anything to be seen. And it looks like there's a bunch of spots we need to check out. We're gonna have to take these guys out first. Oh, there are Garleans here. Okay, the next point is to the south. Okay, even farther to the south next. And now we are headed to the east. And we do have a fate going on here. Let's go ahead and join in. Okay, so we just got a notification about gear condition. So every time you use an action, receive damage, or suffer a knockout, the gear you have equipped is damaged. When your gear's condition reaches 0%, its functionality drops off severely. Gear condition can be viewed by selecting character under character from the main menu. The vertical bar situated next to each gear icon indicates approximate condition. An exact percentage can be viewed in the item help text by mousing over the icon. Let's go ahead and bring that up. It's probably talking about these here. Whenever we get new items, that they always start at 100%. NPCs conducting item repairs are indicated on your map and minimap by a hammer icon. For a small fee, they will restore an item's condition to 100%. You can also fix this by fixing it. You can fix it yourself if you have the appropriate Disciple of the Hand class level, and that is indicated by the repair level here. So for this one, I would need to be an armor level 15, but we're not focusing on crafting for this Let's Play. So I'm just going to be going to the NPCs. next destination point is over here. One thing that you can do when it comes to fates is if you're going to be in an area for a while, once you take down a certain number of enemies, you can kind of just move off. And eventually you'll just be awarded the experience. Okay, so we got our last destination point. And we've got more Garleans here. Obviously, the fact that they're here is troublesome, to say the least. So was there aught to be found in the wood? What did you come to? Garleans? In this part of the Twelves Wood? First sylphs and now Garleans, and all in the same place. It cannot be mere coincidence. Might the Garleans be following the sylphs? Tracking them or giving chase, mayhap? But no, not this far into the forest. The Whalers' spies are everywhere. Imperials could never have stolen past them all. How in the bloody hells could they... Unless someone guided them through. Someone who knew where the spires stand. And when the Whalers watch. A Gridanian traitor. Okay, once again, we really can't use these given the gear that we've currently got on. Let's grab the dried prunes here. I'm glad you've come, friend. There's something I want to talk to you about. You know, I said I thought we might have a traitor in our midst. Someone as was aiding the Garleans. Well, I'm thinking I may have identified our suspect. There's a regular of mine who used to dine on thin soup and sip his pint. Okay, there's the experience from the fate there. And sip his pint on account of not being able to afford another. But of late, he's taken to ordering my best wines and the finest cuts of meat I can lay my hands on. Were he a merchant, I'd probably think nothing of it, but this lad's a wood whaler. And wood whalers don't earn that kind of coin. By chance, I was musing on where the money was coming from when you first told me about the Garleans in the forest, and I couldn't help putting two and two together. Suffice it to say, if a whaler's working for the Empire, none of us is safe. The lad I'm talking about goes by the name of Laurentius. Last I heard, he was in the South Shroud. Find him, Prince, and if he is up to no good, put an end to it. And him, if it comes to that. Okay, and it looks like he's pretty close by here. Here he is. Can you not see I am on patrol? Be gone. If you have business with the whalers, take it to the barracks. Alright, and we are chasing him. You again. I told you, I am busy with my duties. Now piss off. And let's give chase again. Okay, he's over there. Not long now. To think patrol routes and rations would fetch such a price. No more than I deserve, though. 'Tis little wonder the Empire has risen to such heights. If only the whalers paid men their worth. You! What did you... How long have you... Help! 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 Please, come quick, my friends. It is I, Laurentius. I am under attack. Alright, and there are the Garleans. Or at least one of them. How did you just... I know nothing. I was on patrol. He just appeared. I thought you were working for the Garleans. And he ran off again. Alright, to the east. Why are you following me? Leave me be. I told you, that Garlean just appeared. I know nothing. Alright, over to here. And duty calls. How long do you mean to keep this up? What is it you imagine I've done? Enough, I say. It's over then. I sold maps and rations to the Empire. It was I meant no harm. I only wanted the coin. The whalers are good, strong. I was proud to join their ranks. Am proud. But they do not provide. They preach justice, honor, duty, but in the end, it is those with money who do as they will, who live as they will. So I sought an opportunity to change my fortunes, and took it. All I've done for money, endangered myself, my home, everything and everyone I love. Why, my actions have put your life in danger, too. Though you do not yet realize how much. Bloody idiot. Did you imagine that you had cornered me? It is not I who has cornered. Garleans, I brought the all-world bastard. Permit me a question, if you will. Are all adventurers so deluded as to believe they can challenge the power of Garlemald? You'd need a veritable mountain of gil to fund such an endeavor. Such is the cost of fighting great power. or of making it, or of remaking it as we will Gridania. So that's the way of it. Swapped your hard bunk at the barracks for a feather bed in Garlemald, did ye? There, you there, Aura. You stand here at old Buck's wish, no? Then you don't stand alone. Alrighty. Your eyes betray your words, coward. You know full well the whalers fear the wasp's sting. Okay, there are more coming in. Let's take out the Imaginifier first. Imaginifer, since they are a caster. And yeah, we can leave the Decurion for later, since they're more of a tank. Alright, that guy's running off. If this is a fight Buscaron once, then the Curl Claws will fight it. How? Why? You scum have no allegiance. Okay, even more coming in. So this is to be my end. Alright, so that just leaves legless Laurentius. Unless he brings more friends in. How has it come to this? Impossible. How did you best the Empire's finest, and with bandits and poachers at your side? They are your sworn enemies. Why do they fight with you and not against you? Ah, but I know the answer only too well. Buscaron. This is his doing. His words are wont to inspire men to act. Better men than I. Gods, what have I become? What have I done? I am sorry. No more will I pursue this folly. No more lies. No more bribes. I will go to the Order of the Twin Adder and confess my crimes. There's something I would like to tell you to tell Buscaron. Tell him Laurentius, the fool, says thank you. I feel as though a veil has been lifted from before my eyes. Okay, so let's make our way back over to Buscaron. Okay, and so we have made our way back over to here. Now, up until now, with every session I have been logging out, basically by going into an inn. But really, you don't have to do that as long as you wind up in what is called a sanctuary. Now, this does not appear to actually be one. That's actually kind of surprising, to be honest. Let's speak to Buscaron here. I, Laurentius, confessed to his crimes. I just had word from the Twin Adder. Seems he marched straight into the nest and gave himself up. The lad's had quite a life, you know. His mother was killed by a brigand when he was only small. As a young man, he joined the Whalers, hoping to spare his fellow Gridanians the misery he'd known growing up. Trouble is, protecting Gridania is too big a job for one man, and he came to believe that he couldn't make a difference, that it was hopeless. There are a few things more dangerous than desperation, and a man lost in the dark is easily drawn to the glimmer of coin. I reckon he thought that if he couldn't change the lot of his fellow man, he might as well change his own. Thing is, he was making a difference, just not on his own. Somehow, he'd failed to grasp one simple truth, that those things we cannot do alone, we must do together. Eh? He asked you to thank me, did he? Then there's good in him yet. I just hope them at the Adder's Nest are able to see it. What he's done ain't easy to forgive, but I'd like to think he'd be afforded a chance to make amends. But let us leave fates to the 12. I have other news for you, Prince. The Sylph Elder has been found. Alright, and that is where we are going to leave things off. We are going to go searching for the Sylph Elder on the next episode. Let's see if I can actually log out here. Okay, so this is actually starting a countdown, so it's not going to let me do it specifically in here. So we are going to make our way back over to here on the next episode. In the meantime, let's head back over to New Gridania. And let's make our way over to an inn. Once again, as long as you see this message down here, you have entered a sanctuary, you can technically just log out from there. And you would still get all the experience bonus that you would get. But, with tradition, I'm going to go ahead and log out one more time like this here. Alright, so, thank you for joining me today. This is PrinceBrightstar signing off. I'll catch you next time.